Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to our third knowledge area, techniques and measurements tools. But before we proceed further, we make a quick recap for yesterday knowledge area 1 and 2, whereby yesterday we looked on what is research, objectives of research, motivation and research, what is research methodologies, qualities of research, and research process. We said research is the scientific and systematic search of facts on a particular phenomenon or on a certain topic. And objectives of research, we confine the objectives of research to 4 objectives that we said. The first objective of research is to describe a certain, to explore a certain phenomenon, which is exploratory research. Another one is to describe characteristics of a situation, an individual or a group. These ones are called descriptive research. And another objective is to understand the number of times or frequency that something occurs. Diagnosis, it is called diagnosis research. And the last one we said, the objective of research is to test the hypothesis, to test how variables relate, causal relationship between variables, between studying hard and passing your exams. Then we look on to the why people do research. What is the motivation behind doing research? We said the first motivation is to get a degree. For those who are doing the masters and PhD, you cannot graduate with your masters or PhD if you have not done dissertation or thesis, which is a mini research or a major research for PhD. Another motivation is to be respected in society. Researchers are respected because they tend to solve a number of problems. Another motivation of doing research is to solve a problem or a challenge in the society. Another issue is to save the society. People are motivated to do research because of intellectual joy. For example, professors, they are being respected because of doing research. Okay? Then we looked on to the research methodology. What is research methodology? We said that research methodology is a studying how to do research scientifically, a systematic way of doing research, following steps by steps. Okay? Then we looked on the qualities of good research. How a good research should look like. We said that good research, we summarized that good research should be systematic, logical, and empirical. Systematic follows the procedures. Logical and empirical. It is intended to collect what is needed to be collected. It is according to the objective. When you say empirical, you mean the research was done according to the real life situation. It is not something that cannot be done. Okay? Then we looked on the research process. We said that research should follow steps, according to the definition of the research methodology. Research needs to follow a number of steps. So we expect that when you do research, you follow these processes. We said that the first process is selecting a research problem. You identify a problem that is facing the society or a challenge. Then you go about reading the problem by discussing with those who expertise or your friends. Then after that, you do a literature survey. Literature survey is done to know what is known and what is not known, what has been said by others, what are the concepts, theories, and what others have said about the study, so that you can identify the gap and can give you direction towards solving your problem. After going through literature survey, what follows is you develop a workable hypothesis. What do you hypothesize? You create a prediction statement. showing your direction as from what you have obtained from the literature survey. Okay, after testing introducing your hypothesis, developing your hypothesis, what follows is you make a research design. How your research is going to be. Research design is simply collection, measurement, and analysis of data. After that, we do a pilot survey. These are done for pilot study. This is specifically for quantitative research types, whereby you go to a place similar to your field. Before going to the field, you go to a place elsewhere. You test your tools and methods of collecting data if they can give you what you want to collect. After that, after doing a pilot study, then you go to collect data. You now exactly go to the field where your research will be conducted. You collect the information, the data that will help you to answer your objective or your hypothesis. After you have collected your data, what follows is the analysis of data. You analyze data according to what your respondent have given you. Then, after you've got your data, then you test. You're still on the research process. You test the hypothesis. If it is true, or now you can reject or accept your hypothesis given on the analysis of data. Okay. After that, after testing your hypothesis, then your interpretation and report writing. That's how research is being done. That was all about knowledge area 1, which was about research methodology. Now we go to knowledge area number 2. Knowledge area number 2, it was about research design and sampling. We looked on what is research design, types of research design, what is sampling, what are the sampling techniques, what is the need of sampling. So we start by defining what is sampling, what is research design. As I said before, research design is simply a system of collecting, analyzing, analyzing and interpretation of data. That is all about research design. We said that research design is of 2 types: the experimental design and the quasi-experimental design, whereby research which is done at a controlled environment. This, as I said before, this research are done in natural sciences, for example. People who are doing research on medication, the effect of medication, whereby you create a control group and a treatment group, and you observe that group over time, you collect data over time. It is uses panel data in analysis. Okay. Another type we say non-experimental research design. This research design which not exactly an experiment. It is done by through cross-sectional research design or time series, collecting data to individuals over time, or analysis of data over time. That is time series. That data that is collected across time. Normally, cross-sectional studies are done if you want to obtain answers on the specific purpose, whereby research has the control over its data, and he minimizes errors by doing cross-sectional studies. But when doing time series, you don't have control of your data. You just obtain the secondary information. Okay, then we went on to sampling. We said that, yes, we want to do research on the factors influencing microcredit in Bagamoyo, let's say. Factors influencing farmers to access microcredit. The decision of farmers to take microcredit in Bagamoyo. You cannot go by and ask each farmer in Bagamoyo. That will be a very cumbersome study. But what we can do, we can just compute a representation of that population or universe, which is called sampling. That is what sampling means. Sampling is taking part of the population, which represents the whole population. Then we went on to sampling techniques. We said we have probability and non-probability sampling. Whereby probability sampling, this I said that in probability sampling, everyone has equal chance of being selected to participate in the research. And non-probability, it is the opposite of probability sampling. Whereby in probability sampling, we looked on simple random sampling. As we said that in this simple random sampling, everyone has a chance of being selected. The people are being selected randomly. We say we have two methods, lottery method and the table of random numbers. Whereby in the lottery method, you take a piece of papers, you assign numbers to them, then you mix them up, you select according to the number of the sample you want to take. The lottery method, the table of random numbers is done by computer most of the times. And another type of probability sampling, we said stratified random sampling. Sometimes you want to go collect information. You know, a society has a heterogeneous characteristics. They are not all the same. Maybe you want to do a study at the university. Now at the university we have a group of students, males, females, we have colleges. So when you do stratified random sampling, is you divide the population or your sample into subgroups of homogeneous subgroups. Example, males, females. When you do a study about a university or college, males, females, college or faculty, that is certified random sampling. Another method of probability sampling that we looked upon was systematic random sampling. Okay? This is simply a random sampling which is done systematically. Systematic random sampling is simply simple random sampling which is done systematically. As we said yesterday, that if you have 100,000 population, or your sample in 100,000, then you go about 10 after every 10, or after every 1,000, you select your sample. That is called systematic random sampling. And the last type of probability sampling that we looked upon was cluster sampling. Now this happens when you have a population, you want to collect information from a geographically scattered population. So you need to cluster your sample. That is, divide your sample into groups, or into regions, or counties, or districts, so that you can collect information for the whole population. For example, you want to collect data about the primary school kids, about primary school kids in Tanzania. In Tanzania is about 25 regions, or 26 nowadays. So you cannot, it is not easy to conduct research on such situations. So you have to select some regions to be a representation of the whole country. That is cluster. That is cluster random sampling. And the other part of non-probability, we looked on the 5 types. We said we have accidental. Accidental sampling happens when the sample happens to be at the area of data collection. As we said, if you want to collect data on the qualities of food and the prices at the university, so you go there at the cafeteria. Every student who comes out is the one who is asked about the research. So that is accidental probability, non-probability sampling. Another type of Non-probability sampling is quarter sampling. This is the same as cluster sampling, but it's different. Here you don't. Here everyone is not. Everyone does not have an equal chance of being selected, but select according to quota. If you want to do a study in Tanzania, then every region has to be represented. So you select Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, yeah. That is how you do quota non-probability sampling. Another type we looked on was it was convenience non-probability sampling. This is when you do sampling when information is available, or that the respondents are available. You go to a place where respondents are available, convenience. It is convenient to you to collect data at that place. Okay? And the last type of non-probability sampling that we looked upon was snowballing. We said that when you throw a ball in the snow, it goes about and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. By getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it simply means in non-probability sampling, doing snowballing, sometimes you don't have full information of your population. For example, you want to do research on HIV/AIDS patients. It is not easy to know that in this household there is a patient, there is someone who is suffering from AIDS. So as you meet one patient, he probably directs you to another patient. So that is, your sample grows as you meet the next respondent. The last thing we saw, the need of sampling. Why do we do sampling? As we said that we could not collect the data for the whole population. That would be very costly. It will take us a lot of time, resources. But sampling help us to get accurate information, and it is easy to control. Those interviewers, for example, when you're doing questionnaire, it's easy to control your interviewers. And we concluded by saying that the fundamental question in sampling is, what is the exactly number of sample which is required? Do we need a large sample or do we need a small sample? And we said sample depends on your research, but if you have a larger sample, then you have a statistical power. Your analysis, as it is more valid, it will become more valid. Okay. After we're done with the recap, now we proceed with the today's lectures, which is measurement techniques and measurement scales. So now, before we proceed further, let's understand the following terms. What is the measurement? We can say measurement is a process of observing and recording observation as they are collected as part of research. You're observing, maybe you are collecting information on the number of Suzuki cars in Dar es Salaam. As you take note of the Suzuki cars in Dar es Salaam, you are doing measurement. You are recording and observing. But another part of the measurement scale is scaling. What is scaling? Scaling is the assignment of objects, numbers or semantics according to the rule of scaling. So you went Suzuki, number of, here we've observed the Suzuki, now here you're getting number of observed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And other important terms, we said statistics, because when we are doing measurement and scaling, we are dealing with statistics. As statistics is a science of collecting, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting data to assist in making the informed decision. You have an informed decision when you do statistics. You don't just decide on something without data. Statistics gives you data so that you can make an informed decision concerning a population or a situation. Then we looked on, we should look on what is an entity. So when we make an observation about persons, places, or things, we call that it's being observed an entity. So we are observing Suzuki cars in Dar es Salaam. Suzuki is an entity. Okay? Another issue, another important term is variable. What is a variable? Variable is a characteristic that assume different values. For example, gender can be a male or female. So that is a variable. Gender is one of the variables. A variable can be quantitative. For example, age can be qualitative. How you feel about something or your attitude can be descriptive. Descriptive means that it has two values only. It's either yes or no, it's a male or a female. Continuous, it can take a series of numbers, fraction. For example, height, it can be 5.5 feet, 6.5, 6. That is a continuous variable. We proceed with measurement scale. Now, when we do measurement, we can group measurement into 4 scales. These 4 scales, each scale has, we start from the weakest to the strongest scale. Okay. The first scale is the nominal scale. The nominal scale is by the scale of giving numbers or names to things. As it is defined there, the weakest among the measurement scale is the nominal scale. We use this when we distinguish one object from or event from another by names, numbers, or symbols. Therefore, nominal data is counted data. For example, a football team, we have number 1 up to 11. Goalkeeper, a defender, a midfielder, a striker, a forward. That is nominal type of describing data. Then we go to ordinal scale. Ordinal scale is, now we have named, we've distinguished our data. Or for example, in an office, in nominal scale, in our office there's a chair, a table, furniture. We have furniture, but then we name them table, chair, and etc. So in ordinal scale, we don't just end on what that one object differs from another in respect to some characteristics, but also we will look upon we will look upon more or less of characteristics than another. For example, in a racing, we can count that this one is the first one, this is the second one. Or when we are giving marks, you rank people. A, B, this is A, from 80 to 100 it's A. From 60 to 70 maybe, 79 it's B. Or 60 to 65 that's B plus. 60 below that is C. And if you have scored 41 and below, you failed. That's doing ordinal scale. Okay. Then the other scale is an interval scale. Interval scale is the second most powerful measurement scale. When we can say we cannot only say that this one is greater than the other one, but it is greater or less by how much. Okay. For example, if I've given you an exam and someone scores 100, and someone scores 90. So the one who scores 100 is 10 marks greater than the one who scored 90. Or GPA, we have first class, second class, third class. What is the amount of first class GPA? 5.0 to 4.0. As you can see here. If someone scores 3.95 and the other one scores 4.0, that's how we can define the interval scale. So with interval scale, we have a unit of measurement. For example, for the sake of marks, it is a GPA. Okay? And the last one and the most strongest measurement scale, it is ratio scale. So hereby the ratio is characterized by the use of both unit of measurement and the true 0 point. So even the one who has no GPA, we also measure that this is a 0 GPA. Or when you are measuring weights, when someone has 0 weight, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have weight, that he has a 0 weight of a certain ratio. As I can see this diagram, we form nominal, then we come to ordinal, interval, and ratio. Okay, now we want to look on, obviously in any measurement you may encounter some errors. You cannot be, sometimes you cannot be precise, so you may find some ambiguity in your research studies. So the following are the errors, sources of errors that may occur while we are collecting information. The first error that may occur from your respondent. You may ask someone a question who is not aware of what you want to collect data. He is ignorant on the situation. Or someone you want to know a feeling, how someone feels about something. Then he expresses an ambiguous feeling. It's not a strong feeling, or he is confusing. He can lead you to guesses in your interview. Another one is the situation. Right? For example, we are going to collect data to the place where there is a riot. Okay? There, where you cannot collect very for the correct measurement. Or you are interviewing someone, so maybe you want to know about the early marriages. Then you go to interview a girl with his parent at the presence. That girl may not give you the right information, may lie to you, may be scared because his or her parents are there. Okay. Another one is the measurer. Now you are yourself, you are the interviewer. You have a problem. Instead of asking questions chronologically, you mix up with the questions. And you are missing the flow of your research. Another one is how you look, how you behave. Sometimes it may lead you not to get the required information. You are going to collect information about Muslims. You will go to the mosque with your shoes on. Obviously, they will not give you the right information. Another part of measurement is your instrument. It may default. You may be using a tablet to collect data there at the field, and then becomes, when charge becomes low, you fail to get, maybe if you are taking pictures, you fail to get quality pictures, or it may be defective. Or you are asking your respondent very ambiguous question, very use of jargons. Your questions are not well elaborated. That can lead you to failure or errors in measurement. Okay. Now, how can we know that we have measured what we want to measure? How can we test that what is measured is what really was supposed to be measured? Then we do the following tests. We do validity, reliability, and practicability. Invalidity is what we have measured, is what is required. It is required to be measured. If the information we've collected valid, is it a valid information? Reliability, the accuracy and precision of measurement procedure. If you have used your tools, if you use the same tools, are we going to get the same results? That's what is meant by reliability. The last one is practicability. Factor that is economy. You said that you have used maybe a drone to a place where it is not passable. Does it convince us that you use a drone with pictures which look like just a phone taken from an Android phone and say that you have used a drone? Can what you have collected be interpreted? Can one easily interpret your data? Or is just only you who can understand what you have collected? So in order to know if what has been measured is really what it was intended to be measured, we do the following tests. You can see this one here. Reliability and validity. Results are consistent, results satisfy the objectives. Okay, then the second part of our lecture is methods of data collection. You have to understand the techniques and tools for measurement. Now, we want to see what are the methods of data collection. You have the tools, how will you go about to collect the data? Okay, so simply data collection is gathering and the measuring of information on integrated variable. We say that variable is something which is taken, assume certain characteristics, for example, gender. When you go collect information on gender, that is called data collection. So your data collection helps you to answer your relevant question and evaluate outcomes. Data can be collected from primary or secondary sources. When you say primary source, it means the researcher has control over the information. There is an advantage of collecting data using primary source. Okay, data collected is said to be free of error and well tailored for a specific purpose. You collect data according to your research objectives. Okay. But on the other hand, when the government or other private organization collects data and stores them, for example, in the library or in the internet, and you go to access that data, what you are doing is you are obtaining secondary sources of data. So that is the two part of the data collection: primary source and secondary source. So then we go to, there are several ways of collecting appropriate data which differ considerably in context of money, cost, time, and other resources and disposal compensation. So the most common ways of collecting data are as follows. We have many ways of collecting data, but this one are the most or the commonly used methods of collecting data. The first method is questionnaire. Then we have a focus group discussion, in-depth interview, and observation. Let's go about see each of the methods. Okay, so what is a questionnaire? Yes, everyone knows or came across someone asking him questions, he or her some questions on a certain phenomena in a piece of paper. The number of questions asking you for your time that you can answer those questions. That is called questionnaire. Okay, so questionnaire data collected method used to gather data on large samples scattered over a wide area. You can see you can send questions across the country, or you can send your team across the country to go and collect information. The interviewers. Okay, so questionnaires of two types: close-ended questions and open-ended questions. Close-ended questions, these are short questions with probable answers. For example, one asks you about how do you feel about Open University. You can say I feel good, bad, or better, or you have some choices, A, B, C, D, or in a Likert scale. That are called close-ended questions. But when someone asks you they want to express what you say, there's no tick or box to the answer. That is an open-ended question. If someone comes and asks you, what is your opinion on the coming election in 2020s? That is a very open-ended question. Okay? There he has not given you probable answers, but just wants you to express yourself. That one is called an open-ended question. So this questionnaire can be self-administered. Self-administered means you give a respondent the questionnaire and he answers by himself or herself at the required time. But you can also ask the question while the respondent is listening. He'll be giving you answers and you tick. Okay. Another method of data collection is focus group discussion. Okay. This is the qualitative method of data collection. You want to take data on the attitude of how people feel. How you want to get the characteristics on how people feel about something, their emotions. You create a group of 8 to 12 discussants. It can be done by 1 or 2 researchers. One researcher is the leader of the discussion, the other one is the note taker. You pause it hereby where we don't have yes or no question, no answers. Respondents are required to give a depth information about the question. Okay, here you can see our guidelines. So, what should you be doing when you are doing focus group discussions? So, during the sessions, the moderator should do the following. I said you have 2 researchers, most of the time 1, but it is better if you have 2. One is the moderator and the other one is a note taker. So, you should open a general comment and wait for response. You just probing them. You want them to speak out. Invite a wide range of commentary. You listen from everybody. And when someone gives something that you don't understand, or when you put on something that they don't understand, you give a definition. You explain a bit to them so that you can be an interactive discussion, which is very interactive. When someone is silent, you just leave that person silent. Maybe he's thinking about something. You go asking about someone else until that person speaks. Okay, so everyone should participate. Okay, don't let people over speak. You should limit their time. Okay. Covering material and guide moderators are responsible for asking the questions in the focus group guide. You ask all those questions because you have time. You ask those people for their time. You should also encourage the maximum participation. So in a situation where you don't have a note taker, most of the times we use a tape recorder. Another method is in-depth interview. It's a carefully planned interview, face-to-face interview, whereby there is an interviewer and a respondent at a convenient time of the respondent. It is usually conducted face-to-face, involve one interviewer and one participant. Okay. When safety is an issue for the interviewer, the basis of 2 interviewers is appropriate. Sometimes when interviewer may be scared. You want to go and collect data to Al-Shabaab or Boko Haram. You want to do an interview with their leader, and you are scared. So you can go with your friend as your co-interviewer. There you get a very depth information. This is the very important qualitative method of collecting data. Okay? Another one is observation. Okay, it's another method. You collect primary data. You observe directly. Either by being a participant, you participate. For example, you go to the mine whereby there is children employment in the mines. You become one of the miners. You do work there, but they should not know your intention. Or for example, in a Maasai society, you cannot go there and just ask them questions. They not cooperate. You should act like a Maasai, dance with them, eat with them while you are collecting that. It is called participant observation. But another type is direct observation. Here you just observe from far and you don't become one of the respondent. You don't become one of the sample of the group of people that you are collecting information from. Okay, we move on. Selecting appropriate method of data collection. So while you want to select the appropriate method of data collection, you consider several factors. Consider several factors. The first one is the nature and scope of objective inquiry. Nature, is it a quantitative study? Is it a qualitative study? What is the scope? The scope means the area. Scope, how big is your study? Are you big in terms of length or the population you want to do, the sample that you have selected? If you have a bigger sample, then the questionnaire is a good mode of data collection. If you have a small sample, then you can do focus group discussions or interviews. And what do you want to inquire? If you want to inquire very sensitive information, you can do a participatory observation. You can be one of the respondents. You can act as if you are one of the respondents, and be one of the sample. Another issue includes the availability of funds. Do you have resources to undergo that research using that method? The most simple way of, not costly, is a questionnaire. You can just send questions. Send questions through emails, not through phones, people free and done. Time factor. Do you have time? If you have enough time to collect information, you can do an interview or observation, which is a very careful study. And the precision inquiry. Precision means the information that you want to obtain. The correctness of information that you want to obtain. So the most correct one is the questionnaire. And we have a take-home assignment here. You should tell me the following after we have gone on. You should go and research on these issues. What are the ethical considerations in research? Can you go and collect data to someone or forcing someone to be a respondent without his consent? What is the inclusion? Can we combine both methods of data collection in a study? Can we combine one, two? We can use questionnaire and observation. Can we use interview and focus group discussion? What is survey? You said that one is going to do a survey. What is survey? What is the informed consent? What is piloting? As I said before there. And the other take-home assignment is examine the merits and limitation of each data collection method we have gone about. What are the merits and demerits of questionnaire? What are the advantage and the disadvantage of a questionnaire method? Of an in-depth interview method, observation, and focus group discussion. And here we come to the end of our third knowledge area. Thank you for listening.